We're going to do this. It's all funny. Hello, people. Welcome to Bunker People. We're just like you, live in a bunker. But you probably can't hear the music because I've got a crap computer. But welcome anyway. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear.
I heard that went funny.
Yeah, so shitty. It's gone. I haven't got the page yet. I imagine. All right. I don't know if you can hear me. And I don't know why I'm getting feedback. What's going on?
You've got to check.
Oh, the sound. Ah. I've done this a few times and I keep stuff up. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, people. Reporting from the bunker. If anyone can hear me without the crappy sound in the background, I don't know, just tell me. You can hear me, yeah, but it might have been crap at the time you were hearing it, because I'm not very good at computers. Yeah, the sound in the room. Yeah. Oh, that's me all over. Well, it's cold here. It is, well, yeah, it's 0. I stick on the camera, but I imagine even with the sound, it's not that good. We have very poor connection. Deep in the bunker, you get these sort of things. How's everyone's day been? I don't know if anyone can hear me.
Yeah.
You can hear me, but I don't know whether you heard all that crap in the background. Right, 5, 10, 15, 20, 50, 100 minutes and I'll be closed. You thought I was going to say dollars, didn't you? Not going to happen. I can hear noises in the background. Ask me to go type certain words and then you can work out later. All right? I'm going to ask you to type the word orange. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Next week, the week after, till June 2025. I think it's about, with your typing, you probably took only a few seconds, probably about a 10-second lag. Apologies for that. We are on the other side of the planet, in a bunker, limited resources. I will quickly turn on my camera and you can then see how bad it will be. We'll do a quick wave. There we go. Genuine 1940 television.
That's not bad.
Hello.
That's really bad lag.
I'll turn it off, but probably won't even hear us. There we go. Here. Hello, Ice. Whereabouts are you, Random? We're in Sydney at the moment. We're actually WA people, but we're here to help our mum, which she's not been good. Hello, Booker. Yeah, good.
Then the cameras were there.
Yeah, I don't know why that is. I've noticed that a lot on YouTube lately where people put up videos and they're reversed. You're in the Adelaide Hills. I have another red wine. Honey. Adelaide Hills. Yep. Know that area very, very well. As long as the fire stays away, it's a good place to live. But it's cold here. We're from WA and we're not used to, well, we used to live here. It's not quite true. But 0 this morning. The olive oil was like just about solid. Terrible. The Adelaide. It's a big country, Australia. Like a lot of people often say, oh, Australia, they think. I remember watching a TV show where Americans asked to judge how big Australia was, and they had a map of the US and about 9 different squares, and they all picked basically the very smallest one, when in fact, if you lay our country over the top, geographically, it's the same size. What's WA? Western Australia. Just for those who don't know, the states in Australia are, from the right-hand side down, Queensland, New South Wales, Victoria, Tasmania. It's broken off, but it's still ours. Tasmania is an island, but that's part of Australia. South Australia, Western Australia, which is about half the size of Australia, and the Northern Territory. And if you want to really talk about the ACT, it's a little state within a state. So the other states of Australia. If you got them all right, you want a trip to anywhere you like at your own expense. We have different names for different people in different parts of the country. Western Australians, like us, are known colloquially as sand gropers. And South Australians are known as crow eaters. I know you probably don't believe me, but it's true. Random said he's a crow eater. If you're in Victoria, we call you a Mexican. If you're in Tasmania, we just disown you. We don't mention you. And Random knows what I'm talking about. Cold, isn't it? Yeah, bloody cold here. And in Queensland, they're banana benders.
It's 5.
5? Oh, sweltering 5 degrees. Yeah, family says, and I'll unhide it. Family says, Random says, Victorians are known as arseholes. That's not very nice.
0 tonight.
0 tonight. So we'll have frozen in the morning. Actually, Random, I don't know if you follow the Crows, as in your football team, but they beat my Eagles. But we're doing okay. Crows have had a terrible year, you've got to be honest. Shocking. Got all the talent in the world, it just doesn't seem to be working. And anyone in America wouldn't know what the hell we're talking about. So what have you people been doing? I mean, we've been busy. We've been at the hospital with Mum for about 9 days straight now.
Yeah.
And it looks like she'd be hopefully coming home. She's beaten the infection she had. So at the moment I've got a t-shirt on, big Mexican jumper my daughter gave me, beauty, and a dressing gown, and gloves. He doesn't follow the footy. That's all right. You don't have to follow the footy, mate. Footy. Well, yeah, it depends where you are in Australia. Football on the East Coast is rugby. Football everywhere else in Australia is Australian rules. We just call it footy. And if you play soccer, they call it footy as well. Weird, isn't it? Yeah, if you ever get a chance to, guys, watch a few. Go to YouTube and just type in Australian football or AFL, and you'll see high impact game. No padded shoulders, no padding at all. Actually, they just thump each other every now and then, and sometimes they kick the ball around. It's good fun, really good fun. So what's happened in the world of Boit? I always often ask this question because I've been away a lot. Has peace befallen the Boit? And love and harmony is amongst fellow men. No more angst or, doxing people, and no more personal attacks. Is that what happened since I've been away? Is peace befallen the Boit? I'm sure most of you have lived amongst it, and you'll probably say yes. Is that right? I could ask some pertinent questions, but what's happened to the man in the van, poor old Zia? What's happened to him lately? Any news? Did he win lottery? Booker says no peace yet. Elvis has the Stinky Marie for sale. Well, we could do with $30 or $40, I suppose. Or a couple of big shawarmas. I couldn't see anyone buying that. He's quoting the Bible. Well, that's it's part of a marketing plan when you quote the Bible and you don't believe in God, or you make one up and you basically bring out verses to make people feel guilty because you're not donating to him. Have I missed anything there? Would that just about sum it up? utilizing religious text for monetary gain. 12,500. Is that pesos? Denarii? And random seeds, I planted some strawberry plants the other week. I made up some rose black plastic covering the dirt with the black plastic. Have I planted too early? Oh, look, I know in the hills you are susceptible to the odd frost, but not that you've planted too early. I just wouldn't water them heavily at the moment, random. In other words, just let them be a little bit in stasis. Because you've probably got from now to a bit of a kick in spring, 6 weeks, as long as they're not going brown on you. But I wouldn't encourage a lot of growth at the moment. It can get very cold up in those hills and bloody hot as well. But you pick just about the right time to put them. Are they runners or plants? Runners are what you generally plant under plastic. Plants, you pop a hole in the plastic and poke them through. That sounds like what you've done. Don't over fertilize them, because you end up with a lot of leaf. Bugger all strawberries. So how many did you plant? I'm curious, because we've got 8 grandchildren and 150 strawberry plants is not enough. Imagine you've got some decent rows going by the sounds of that. Yeah, they're all good. What you can do, mate, one of the simplest things to do if you're worried about the cold at all, just buy a bale of straw, not hay, just a bale of straw, and just cover them. Just cover the whole lot. That straw will eventually just break down and be part of the soil compost anyway in the future. But straw will stop and inhibit any frost damage to young seedlings. It's an old trick that does work. I'm sure the people in the US know what I'm talking about, because they do that. The northern part of America, they probably put straw over their plants as well at certain times. I should do a seed giveaway coming up to spring in Australia. Middle of summer in the US at the moment. Want to say hello to anyone?
I did. I said hello to everyone before, but with the lag, I don't know if they heard me.
Oh, that's good. That's good shit there, alpaca shit. It's good stuff. It's a bit like sheep manure, but it is good. Yeah, straw is really good because it won't. You buy a bale of hay, you end up with all this crap growing in your garden. You don't really want that. Straw is good. With any young seedling, if you think you're still not out of frost, you can put plastic on plants, but straw does just as good. It's a great insulator. In this country, I'm sure Random knows we actually have people build straw homes, and I'm sure they do in the US as well, because it's a great insulation. But if I was putting over strawberry plants, I'd just make sure they're covered. I always encourage people. That's part of the reason and the ethos behind our business is that we don't make a great deal of money, but we do give a great deal of information to younger people in particular, because growing and eating fresh is what I grew up doing. And like people say, I haven't got a big area. That's okay. Grow things in pots. You find a corner in a garden somewhere, you can grow something on a balcony. You can grow, one thing you can always grow, no matter where you are on this planet, is tomatoes. And if you're in a cold climate, just grow smaller tomatoes. They're more resistant to the cool. There are several good varieties of tomatoes that are quite tolerant to the cold. I'm not sure if I do another Meals for $20 a week. Really, it was just the concept of making people realize you can literally, get by on a little bit of money. Or some hooker says, I love acid-free tomatoes. There's quite a lot of them available now. Basically, if you stick to the yellow varieties, you're pretty much covered on low acid. Yeah, that's the secret I did when my kids were young. I got my daughter to grow all the carrots and my sons to grow all the peas. I did all the rest, but they took a great deal of pride in what they grew, and they would pick it and harvest it. And in the process of eating it, that there was a reward. Because a lot of kids think, vegetables come from a plastic packet out of the fridge. The fridge provides everything they ever need. They don't talk about gardens. I just go to the fridge. There's food there. Pink, yellow, and orange. Yeah, you get red, low acid as well. I tell you a good one is Amish. That's quite low in acid. There's a few others, but do your research, particularly if you're taking low acid for a reason. Could be many reasons. Gout, other ailments. One thing I would all encourage you to do is grow garlic. It's too bloody expensive in this country. Actually, if you're growing strawberries, mate, this is the time to put your garlic in. The oldest adage you'll ever hear from gardeners is you plant garlic in the coldest time of the year and you harvest it in the hottest. Pretty much spot on that. This would be a good time to go and get some organic garlic from wherever you can find it and plant a whole heap of it. Doesn't like growing your own garlic, braiding it, having a garage. Yeah, if you've got any questions, Random, by all means. I don't know how YouTube's working now. There's no message system, is that correct? That's what I try to get a message out to Voodoo to get in contact with me, but I have his details and he should be getting his parcel shortly. Yeah, if you're planting garlic, plant about 60. That would do me and the missus. There's no such thing as a black thumb. It's just sometimes, Booker, a lot of people will say, it's all too hard. That's the truth. But I can tell you the secret of gardening. Even a bad gardener eats well. Hence the saying, a bad gardener eats well, because even some of the things that fail just go on the compost heap. So they still contribute to the garden. No, I'd get messages to join a Hangout, Random, and then I could link up and go, and I have no idea how I'm going to do it now. YouTube just seemed to have decided that function can be deleted. Maybe that'll stop a bit of arguing, I don't know. But I'm sure you've all noticed that I did a video about 4 months ago about how I was watching people destroy each other and how I believe they would end up destroying themselves. It's true in life, whether here on YouTube or in real life. You put so much effort into hate and anger, it generally bites you on the ass. Yeah, that's true. There are people who have ever got a real green thumb. Random, if you go to my website, it's under the same name, Seeds to Freedom. You'll see that there is a when and what to plant guide. It's from a good friend of ours, Richard, and his mother. It's called Gardenate. Let me just type that in for you. I won't put the website in because sometimes apparently you get in trouble. You just Google that, and even in the Northern Hemisphere in North America, Google that, and you can also find all the zones in the US. Yeah, look, taking the piss out of someone and having a bit of fun, that's okay. That's very Australian, actually. But, as long as you're willing to take a little bit of taking the piss out as well, which I am, I find that that's a good way, just like you would do in real life. That's how I treat YouTube. I would talk to you the same if you were sitting in the same room as me. I don't need to put on a mask or be somebody I'm not, because I don't see the point. It's very easy to tell the truth, and to continue a lie is difficult because you forget what you lied about. I will admit I ate the last chocolate biscuit, but if you were looking for it, that means you probably wanted something to eat.
No, one of the chocolate biscuits.
Yeah, have one of my ginger biscuits. Got a nice big packet of ginger biscuits in there.
Yeah.
Actually, there's still some of those.
No.
Oh, you had chocolate on the moment, so we've got to go walk down the street.
No.
Well, we've got, like I say, we're over here on the eastern side of Australia for family, and we wanted to come and help. All of our eight grandchildren and 5 children are on the west coast, but priorities. We've got to come look after mum. But we left everything over in Western Australia, our car, all our furniture, and we're living in a little cabin, and we are literally in a bunker, sort of a kitchen area and stuff we can store here. But our family's really loving and caring, and our niece is going to give us a car. Not to use, she's just going to give us a car. So that's very lovely of her, but our family's like that. And that's what families are all about. It's about you see a need within the family, you try and help each other. We do the same. We do the same whenever we can. But I don't, you all, if you all know me well enough, I detest, I use the word not loosely, but very strongly, I detest people who beg for money, who could quite easily work and quite easily attain an income. Helping somebody is not an issue with me. Helping them, in my old saying that I always use, from their knees to their feet, that's fine. But then you've got to let them go. You'll soon find out the charlatans on YouTube, in particularly, when it's a repetitive, like someone said at the start of this hangout, using and quoting the Bible to garnish money from people to make them feel guilty. That's horrendous. Whether you believe in a religion or not, take the religion side out of it, it's still disgusting to see somebody utilize what other people's is their faith and try and leverage money out of them. It's a terrible thing to do. Just on a humanities passive basis is wrong. Hello, Jan and Bruce. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, and it is. And I've been asked, I know I had a hangout a week ago, I think, and Dave. I have nothing against Dave, the $1 billion man, but I tired of all the nonsense and interpersonal disputes and hatred between people, and I just thought I just can't be bothered. He asked me, why haven't I been back in? Because I'm not interested in that. I'm far more interested in having real discussions with people, having a laugh. But that's about where it is with us. Both of us don't really approve of people attacking people, because the truth is, all these people that are attacking people have never met. They don't really know each other. It's a personality clash. It's I'm better than you clash, and it's ridiculous. And in life, when you do things, you're seeking a reward. You work hard, you get paid, you help somebody up, and maybe later down the track they help you out. That's okay. But when you just want to trash people to try and stand on a podium and look down and say, I am better than you, but you don't even know them, you're arguing with people you don't know. So the destruction is self-destructive. It really is. And like I said, I did that video about 3 or 4 months ago where I said I could see it happening. People would get to the point where they would self-destruct. And I'm not going to name names, but they are happening as we speak. On one level, YouTube have tightened the reins, and it's about time, on decency, on the fact that you can't really keep attacking people. I agree with that wholeheartedly. And the other issue of people begging for money, they seem to be getting squeezed as well through the YouTube system, through the normal reporting system. And if, like I say, I don't like e-beggars at all. If someone is eligible to stand up on their own feet and work for a living, why should someone else pay for it? If it was in your family, you'd have a good word with them and say, piss off, get a job. If it was a friend, you'd say the same thing. If it was just somebody that you vaguely knew, but they come up and ask you for money, you'd say, well, what's stopping you working? They're the questions I would ask. Genuine people in genuine need, we've helped in the past and we're more than likely to help in the future. But I've said this before, genuine people never ask for it. You won't see someone who's genuine, maybe a bit of pride, or they think that they can stand on their own feet, but times get really tough. People don't need to be asked then. They come forward. That's truly what happens in the real world. Online, these personas, they're basically disgusting, some of them, and the mentality of saying, I deserve it, you need to give it to me, I'm worthy. No, you're not. We're all equal as far as I'm concerned. If someone doesn't want to work, and someone doesn't want to make the effort in any area but expects other people to do it, you'll get nothing from us at all. Zero. And these people eventually self-destruct. You can use those ice if you want to. It's all entertainment, but entertainment for me is totally different than watching someone beg for money continually. And the worst aspect of this, and the kid in the crappy old 1989 van is the greatest example of something that is actually harmful. If donating money to him over all these years was going to help him, why is he living in poverty now? Why is he hungry? No money. It's because people keep giving pennies and he bounces along the bottom. That's the truth. By donating to people like that, you literally are harming them. You're not helping them. You're keeping them in a perpetual cycle of poverty. He's the greatest example. If money was going to solve his problems, why aren't they solved? Now a word from our sponsor.
Chocolate biscuits.
I'm not going to live this down. There was one chocolate biscuit left. I cooked some beans up to go with some shepherd's pie that I made to take to the hospital tomorrow for our lunch. And I just turned around into the kitchen. There was one chocolate biscuit left in the fridge, and I, threw the packaging away and ate the biscuit. Now it's going to be all night. The wife will wake up at 3 in the morning. Chocolate biscuit, biscuit. I'm doomed. There's no question. You're right, C's. When we had a credit card cancelled in Alaska, my friend said he was getting all kinds of calls asking for help. It was tight, but we made it home with no help. Yet it's one of those things, Jan, that there's an old saying, make do. And talking of banks, yes, you can, Brandon. I've got it for you. I'm emailing it to you now.
You can have them all random.
We're talking about banks. We've got several accounts, and one's a checking account, and we do utilise that to buy certain things online for our business. Well, it got hacked. We weren't the only ones, but of course that means they've got to send me a new card, and all my associations with other businesses has to come to a standstill until I get the new card number to give them. But it is epidemic status at the moment, with people breaching people's banks accounts and just general accounts and information. It's the biggest crime in our country at the moment, is internet fraud. I'm sure it's no different in the US. Yep, that's what you do, Jan. You just made do. You probably didn't eat much. You probably just, what they call getting home on a smoky, oily rag, but you got there. And if you were really stuck, I'm sure someone within the family or friends would have said, look, mate, here's $100 just to get you home. Because when people care about each other, it's not really the money. The biggest thing you can ever give anybody is time, not money. Booker says, I don't work anymore. The pole dancing didn't really bring in the money. No, hang on, I'm bringing her on. I am a stay-at-home wife and mum now. I homeschool my kids and have lots of anxiety, just like YouTube. It means getting out of the house. I would encourage everybody to get out of the house. Some people are infirm, some people are in wheelchairs. I know that for a fact on YouTube. Some people are not well, but you can get out. Someone can take you for a drive, go down the pond where the birds are, take some bread with you, feed them, pack a picnic lunch, thermos of hot coffee. I know it sounds pretty boring, but it's good fun. You don't need to get out much. If you get out and see what this big wide world's got to offer, it's usually good fun. Hello, Jojo. Jojo was a man who thought he was a woman, living in a cell in cars. This ad's brought to you by the warehouse that no longer is going to be available. I've got what have we got here, Jojo? We've got 20 by 15 feet shed. We can put at least one of your cars in there, Jojo. No problem at all. Make sure it's a Ferrari, though. Not sure what the importation fees are going to cost you, though. You're dead right, Hooker. But, the good people outweigh the knobheads by a long way. I mean that sincerely. There are only a few rotten apples in the bushel. When people realise that's true, they can let go maybe of a bit of anger and just ignore them. Because some of these people suck you in and take, blood out of a stone. 17.2 feet, bugger. Oh well, we'll just cut one of the fenders off, it should fit. But you sometimes, and some of you people, I'm not having a go at you, but some of you people do get sucked in. And you want to right the wrong. And I understand that feeling. You want to right the wrong and set the record straight and say, look, this is not right, and then someone has a go at you, and then someone else has a go at you, and all you've done and your intentions are probably to quell the argument. Sometimes it's best just not to say anything, because these people, like pigeons fighting over a breadcrumb, will do it anyway. All right, yep, getting them garlic planted as quick as you can, mate. Just punch them down a good inch into the ground, mate. That's the secret. Good inch. Pointy bit up, bottom bit, bottom down. Yeah, I suppose the secret, you need to get a bit older, I think. Awesome, because the secret is to fix what is fixable. Let that sink in for a moment. Some things are not fixable. Some things are permanently broken, i.e. some people are permanently broken. You can, like you say, the biggest thing you can give anybody is time. And sometimes your futility feelings of, oh, geez, they're not understanding what I'm saying and I'm only trying to help. And then they have a crack at you and have a go at you, call you all nasty names. But your intentions have always been good. Some things are not fixable. How is the wife? I'll just turn her on for a second. My Japanese battery what?
The wife is a bit cold and tired.
4 degrees here at the moment, going down to 0. Which is cold. We like it around the 30s. Not Fahrenheit, Celsius. Most Americans melt around 30 Celsius, but we love it. Our state of Western Australia will have temperatures over 100 really often. Sometimes we take off the jumper or sweater. It's a little uncomfortable, not many times though. Yeah, you're right, Jem. What it is that they self-destruct. In other words, you know when you beat a drum often and loud, your arm tires. You try and get someone else to beat the drum, but the same thing happens. Same drum, it's the same noise, it's a repetitive cycle. Good morning, my very good friend from Canada. How are you? Dive Crew Canada is a pole dancer, works the night strips in Quebec, and has just probably got off shift and popped into the room. How are things going? Hello, Molly. But it is true, and Dive Crew Canada were the first one to admit some things are not fixable. Usually innate objects are fixable, no matter how badly they're broken, but sometimes people, as much as you would try, want to help them, you can't. And it's something that's hard to let go when you think you can offer the help. It's futile. When you realize that, you help the people you can help, and it has nothing to do with money. If you want, ladies and gentlemen, I will tell you right now, there's only a couple of videos on his channel, but Dive Crew Canada is an excellent gardener. Please don't subscribe. You don't have to, but if you want to, would be good, because if you don't subscribe, I will block you on this channel. No, I'm only kidding. Go and have a look at a few videos that Dive's got on his greenhouse. It's superb hydroponic setup. Haven't seen much for this year, but I'm sure it's still happening. But go and have a look at Dive's channel, at some of the videos he's got there. And you'd be amazed, he's Canadian. Most Americans think Canadians can't do anything. You don't have to sub to Dive Crews Canada, but he'll have his super chat up, and so if you don't donate, he gets a bit narky. No, I'm only kidding. Dive doesn't want your money. Dive doesn't need the subs. I'm only saying it because he's a very good gardener. I'm amazed this hangout's still going because
it's frozen in here now.
No, we just got really bad internet. No, it's not hooker, but this bottom of YouTube encompasses a lot more people than what people think. There's a broad spectrum of beggars. We can only say that word because it's true. Who have watched other people beg and tried to repeat their methods. It's very easy to see that occur. You know, like I say, you can help somebody, but when you realize that you've been duped and people are just taking your good nature to advantage and taking your money, that's one thing. But, you know, when they take your time, you don't get that back. You can always make money. You can't make time. We won't be going much longer because we're going to go and jump in our heated cabin shortly. On the bunker, there is no heating unless I light a cigarette.
Tell guys to watch the video or the thing you put up with what house.
Oh, I don't know if Dive's seen that. Got a picture of the bunker here, Dive. Dive, I don't know whether you know, we're over on the other side of our country because Mandy's mum's not good. She's got the last 10 days in hospital, but hopefully she'll be coming home, and we're here to care for her. It's like, I mean, I know some people will put up things like, I don't know what it's called, where they raise money off YouTube, whatever it's called, Patreon or something like that, and other methods. You know, if people are really clever and really talented, do you for one moment think that they are going to have a career on YouTube? What's the answer? There's probably a handful of them, maybe 100 of them, but not thousands of them and not millions of them. People trying to get money other than putting up a video where you can earn a small residual income, that's fine. I do that, but we always give our money away in some form or another in prizes because I only get paid once a year, about $100. There we go. I've let the cat out the bunker, about $100 a year. But, you know, it's not that. It's a case of people who don't have the talent realise they could turn to begging or manipulation. If we're going to be brutally honest here, they usually manipulate the emotions of people. I could mention things like cat ladies, but that would be sexist because there's probably a few cat blokes out there as well. Put a nice little pussycat on the screen and say, oh, could do with a new kitty litter box, new collar, maybe a new pram. See where I'm going? And it's always the sly little thing. Dive says YouTube cryptocurrency went through the same curve as yes.com. It was always going to happen. Unfortunately, Dive, a lot of middle class people remortgaged their homes, sold things, poured it into this vaporized currency. Will cryptocurrency be around in the future? I don't think long term it has a future. Short term, yes. Every time you make money on something like that, it's because someone else has lost money. People don't really understand the stock market. It works just like that. The reason you make money, forget about dividends and returns, let's talk about people that want to get in there and get the quick dollars. Somebody who wins means that somebody has lost. Gambling. There are certain ways to invest your money. Cryptocurrency, if you're asking me, and I'm sure you're not, avoid it like the plague. Don't touch it. Don't even think about it. Some people are doing this crazy thing about mining cryptocurrency, and then they get their electricity bill, and they're in the shed. And a lot of these cryptocurrencies have had people lose their homes, their livelihoods, their boats, their cars, all gobbled up by the banks, who never lose. Banks never lose.
What did Molly go with leggings?
I sold 6 lots of leggings and a t-shirt for charity on Burge Blows. You still get Molly Dolly leggings. Money goes to BCRF. I don't even know what that is. BCRF. There's nothing wrong with donating to charity or giving something to a homeless shelter. I always get confused with chat sometimes because I think people are talking to me, then I realise they're having a conversation. But that's okay. Breast cancer research. Good news in breast cancer in the last few years, Molly. Really advancement. Really well supported in Australia. Really well supported. We have many, many sporting functions that are just dedicated to breast cancer. And I know the last one last year was a cricket thing. They put on another 30 breast cancer nurses to go to people's homes, which is great. Cryptocurrency. Well, okay, I'll explain it to you this way, in a simplistic way. It's your real money that goes online into a currency that doesn't exist, that you have to make some money out of and pull out and retire wealthy. I don't think I missed anything. It's sort of, cloud money. Great meds added to the PBS. Yes, we've got some big matches coming up. France, who drew with Australia. Dive, thought I'd just mention that to you, who drew with Australia. And England. I think it'll be those two. I really do think we're going to have the battle royal. It's going to be Napoleon and Waterloo all over again. But Dive, will it be another Waterloo? That's all I have to ask you. Luis. Yes, they're looking good. They're a tight unit. That's the best way I can describe the French soccer team. Very tight, not over aggressive, very defensive. They have a very strange setup, but they seem to work out pretty well. But what a battle royal that would be. Imagine England and France in the soccer final. Oof. I think the channel would be closed. No, I'm not. I used to play a bit of soccer, but I'm not a big follower of it. But World Cup is something different. No, the Socceroos probably punched above their weight, Molly. We're not good enough yet. You've got to admit when you're not good enough. Okay, what's CIL? I'm not sure whether that's a medical term, Ice, but more than likely it's something to do with naughty bits. Actually, one of the biggest games that I saw was Belgium winning. My goodness, thought they just made chocolate. It's very interesting. Belgium beat Brazil, which is staggering. So we're probably going to shoot off shortly, people. Today we've got another few long days back at the hospital for. Hopefully everyone's home. That'll be great, and then I'll get a bit more time to spend with you. If someone can tell me before I go, now that the message system is down, how does someone get invited to a hangout? How do you do that other than dropping a link in the chat, which I believe and I've been told is not the wisest thing to do? How do you go to a hangout if the message system's now been removed? How do you get invited, or how do you invite people? And no one knows the answer. I don't know the answer. If you have a minute, I can show you. Yeah, just put it in chat. Everyone needs to know, because people used to say I've dropped a link in your. Oh, G Plus. I don't know anything about that. That's your Google Plus.
Google Plus.
Someone got me the other day to go into my Gmail. Down the bottom somewhere was a link to chats or something.
Yeah, you had to open up.
I stuffed it up.
But you put on the wrong one.
Yeah. I can grow food, but computer literacy is not my greatest point. Watching paint dry today. I'm sure that's a reference to ice. 2 Canadians. Could be war. Jojo says he needs Elvis in my life. Maybe I should have told you.
There's an icon on the YouTube page.
I tell you what needs to be done is someone to do a video.
It's a bubble with an arrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see that.
But you know what I mean, Hooker, if you don't need to put your face on camera if you don't want to. But you've done it in the past anyway. Just do a video, and I'm sure a lot of people will watch it. Just a basic run through on how to now, contact people to join a hangout, or for you to send somebody an invitation.
Put your mouse over that bubble with the arrow.
Bubble with an arrow.
Do that one.
That one?
Yeah.
Messages. No, that's. Oh, here we go. YouTube. I'm probably going to bugger up. New show. You can now share videos and chat about them, friends on YouTube. Send an invitation. I'll just try this for a second. Send an invitation. Who am I sending it to? I don't get it. Awesome if you could do. Yeah, good. Thank you. Okay, well, I think it's something that's needed. It's probably very simple, but it's probably beyond me.
Yeah, I can work it out if I'm got a bit of direction.
And we hope to in the future, not sure when now, but hope in the future we'll catch up with our good friend Dave. He runs a pole dancing resort in Canada. I think he plants pole dancers. Oh dear. Oh dear. I just asked Dave if he was German. That'll be interesting. Good on you. Awesome. That'll be great. Yeah. You're not going to get a good response, Ice.
I'm doing.
Yeah. No. But I mean, calling him German when he's French.
Cold now.
Yep. All right, good people. I'm sure there's better places to hang out than the bunker. But thanks for coming. Good to catch up with you. I will certainly look out for Awesome Hooker's video. If you're not subscribed to Awesome, do it now. And that way you'll be able to see the video that she's going to do. Like I say, Awesome is probably simple and it's probably straightforward, but there's probably people just like me going, what? How do you do this? She has got much better. Last, like I say, about 10 days, very bad for about 5, and looking much better now.
Platelets were low, so white blood cell count was low.
All right, good people. You have a wonderful day or night or morning, wherever you are, and we'll catch up, Dave. And yeah, you might have to leave Canada now, Ice. But French Canadian in a red suit chasing you down, hunting you down. Eh? All right, good people.
Thanks everyone.
Thanks for coming, and we'll catch you on another one. Catch you later.